And now, C-Town Radio is proud to present Game Time Sports with your host,
Aaron Sims of Sims Multimedia, TMDE, and BFO, and my co-host,
KENO SULTAN.
Is game time. Welcome to C-Town Sports. Here with Aaron Sims, and it's Game Time Sports. I'm here with KENO SULTAN. How you doing today, my brother?
Very good, very good. Great to be here today.
Yes, you excited about week one this week?
Very excited.
Yeah, man, we looking at some great matches up this weekend. We even got a big matchup today. It's the Battle of 13th Street. It's Central Catholic versus Perry Panthers. Now, can you tell me a little bit of background on the Battle of 13th Street?
The Battle of 13th Street has spanned 24 games, with Perry holding a 15-9 edge in that department in terms of wins. Both Perry and Central, it's very important for these teams to come away with a victory to set the tone for the 2022 season.
Yes, I got a chance to see my son play with Kent South High School against Central Catholic. It was a good game. They got a big line. They got an athletic quarterback by the name of Jack. He was a great player for Kent South at a young age. I'm going to give my pick for today. I'm going to have to go with the Perry Panthers. Who are you going?
I like the Perry Panthers in this one as well. With Zach Slates at the helm, I just feel that their offensive line is going to be the key to the game, and they'll eventually wear down Central Catholic and come away with a victory to jumpstart the 2022 season with a victory.
That's right. It's unanimous. Perry Panthers. On to the next. We go to the Glenville Golden Eagles against the Shaker Heights Red Raiders. What's going on with that, man, tomorrow night's game?
For the Glen Oak Eagles, this is the second installment of Jeff Garcia's return to Glen Oak. This Glen Oak team is much better than their 3-7 record from the previous year. And in addition to that, they have a lot of depth on skill positions as well. And with Coach Garcia at the helm, I look for the Eagles to come out victorious. Like the Glen Oak teams they were back in their day, pounding the ball, wearing you down, taking time off the clock. And that was the staple of Scott Garcia football when he played for Bob Cummings, who also coached at Massillon for 4 years.
Okay, that's what's up, man. It must be Motown. I second that emotion. I got to go with the Golden Eagles. All right, on to the next game. We talk about the Elliott Orangemen versus Green Bulldogs.
This one's going to be an interesting affair. Green graduated a fecund amount of seniors that were instrumental in them winning their first ever regional championship. What better way by upsetting the defending 3-time regional king Massillon Tigers. Although this Green team may not be as strong as that team from last year, you cannot discredit them going into this one, and I think these guys want to build off of that. I like the Bulldogs in this one. Bark loud and proud.
Hey, great minds think alike. I definitely got to go with the Green Bulldogs. On to the next, man. Akron Buchtel versus the North Canton Hoover.
Another Hoover team. This team was a senior-laden team last year, but you know, with their running game coming up and an offensive line, I look for them to also get back on the winning track as well, keep their winning ways going. And I like them against a Griffin team who you cannot discredit. Right. Buchtel's had some down years, but you can never discredit their speed. It will be important for North Canton Hoover to score first, set the tone early, and not let Buchtel strike first. Otherwise, their speed would be a problem. I'm taking the Vikings in this one.
Right. Now, I'm going to have to go say, this is the first time we disagree, because I'm going to have to go with Akron Buchtel. You know, I know they got a couple of recruits from Akron Hoping that went over there, and they got a speedy backfield. So I'm going to go with Akron Buchtel, and you're going to go with North Canton Hoover. Okay, on to the next. We got the East Dragons against the Jackson Polar Bears. What do you think about that one?
I'm taking the Polar Bears with this one. They're a deeper football team. They have depth all around the roster. Over 100 kids on the roster. And plus, Jay Rohr, class of 2002, the head coach of the Polar Bears. They will be a disciplined ground and pound team, a la Rohr of 2002 when he played at Jackson. So I'm taking the Polar Bears in this one.
Right, I got it as a walk in the park, man. It's going to be the Polar Bears. On to the next. We got the Lake Blue Streaks versus the Alliance Aviators.
This is another old school Federal League matchup. It was just a long time ago that Alliance was in the Federal League before going to the NBC and now the EBC. I think the Aviators under Tim Goodman are in a much better situation than what they were last year. Right. With the speed that they have, I see no reason why they cannot come away with a win against a Lake team trying to forge their own identity. Lake says they're tired of being close year after year after year. but I'm taking the Aviators in this one at home.
Oh man, we're gonna have to differ, man. I got to go with the Blue Streaks of late. It's a much bigger team. I just think strength is in numbers. But hey, you only can put 11 on the field at a time. We're going on to the next one, man. Louisville Leopards versus the Steubenville Big Red.
This is going to be a brutal opener for the Leopards. Ever since they became an independent, they have not had much success lately, and I just don't see them winning this game Friday night. I got to ride with the Big Red Gum.
Yeah, I think Big Red's going to roll. I seen them scrimmage against Kansas South last week, and needless to say, Big Red is just that, Big Red. Okay, we're going on to the next. We got the Canton McKinley Bulldogs against the Mentor Cardinals. What's up with that one, man?
This one is going to be a very interesting contest. This series is even at 4-4 apiece, but Mentor has won the last 3 contests by a staggering average of 34 points to McKinley's 9. And last year, Mentor had everything really go their way in a 49-7 rout of the Bulldogs. McKinley has had a full year to stew in the anger of that setback at Tom Benson Stadium. With Antonio Hall in his second year at the helm, I really think this is going to be an angry McKinley team. And it's difficult to defeat an angry football team. I think the Bulldogs start off on the right track with a victory at Jerome T. Osborne Stadium, where Mentor is 88-11 there.
Ooh, 88-11, that's tough. That means, we got to play against the refs, too. I'm going to tell you that right now. I got to say it. This is Bulldog country. I got to say it. Hey, the Bulldogs, they will be moving fast, and I like Antonio's attitude. And like you said, they're going to play a little mean, and I don't think you beat him twice. I don't think you beat him 2 years in a row because, hey, you're a reflection of your head coach, and I don't think you beat McKinley 2 years in a row. So I'm going with the McKinley Bulldogs. And now we're going to our game of the week.
Cincinnati Moeller and Massillon.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, first of all, I remember growing up every year, it was Moeller versus McKinley, Moeller versus Massillon. Can you give me a little background on this rivalry between the Massillon Tigers and the Cincinnati Moeller?
Well, this rivalry goes back to the 1980 season when Moeller and Massillon first met for the Division I state championship. Moeller jumped out to a 24-0 lead and made it stand up in a 30-7 victory in 1980. But in 1982, Massillon came out an angry team and had Moeller on the ropes, as the Crusaders only led by just 7 before the alma mater of King Griffey Jr. wore down the Tigers in a 35-14 victory. Now, most recently, the last meeting that they had was 16 years ago at Paul Brown Stadium, now Paycor Stadium, home of the Cincinnati Bengals. Moeller jumped up to a 24-0 lead and came away with a much easier than expected 48-14 triumph over Massillon. At that time, Bob Crable was the Moeller head coach, and Tom Stacy was the Massillon field general. So it's been 16 years since that contest.
Right. And I look for a big one over there, man. I actually believe that the Massillon Tigers will pull it off. I'm looking for the defensive line be dominated by Moore, for the Massillon Tigers. I like the Massillon Tigers defensive backfield to get a couple picks. And I do believe that the Massillon Tigers in a tight one will edge them out.
I like the Massillon team too. They're at home, and a staple of Massillon football under Nate Moore is their durable strength. Their offensive line, they're just deep on that side of the football, and I think they can eventually wear down Moeller. And that is how Massillon has had success dating back to the 2017 season. I point to a 16-15 win over McKinley, which they dominated the clock, and since then, the depth on the Massillon offensive line has just been seraphically awesome. And I don't see that changing. Take the Tigers in this one.
All right, so we agree on that one. And so I want to give a shout out to all the C-Town listeners. I want to give a shout out to my producer, Jeff Woodson. I want to give a shout out to my statistician, KENO, SULTAN. And I want to give a shout out to SMG, Sims Multimedia Group, where we shine lights on light. So I'm signing off here for Game Time Sports. And until next week, hey, tune in. Love you to life. Peace.